All right. Wait, wrong. What the hell is going on? Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we are back for another episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 9, Episode 10. If you're new here, we do a first impression review, just like a good old-fashioned review video, and then we're going to dive into the after show portion, which is the fan feedback portion. Actually, the whole thing is the after show, but the fan feedback portion, let me know if you guys can hear me good. We've been doing a lot of streaming for the video games. We're actually going through Telltale's The Walking Dead, or old Telltale's The Walking Dead, and we are streaming straight through to the end of her story. So let me just make sure everything is clear right now. It seems like the internet's a little bit wavy right now. It should pick back up, but I don't like the look of that. I don't know why the internet's in the yellow. I wish there was more information. Okay. It looks like we're doing pretty good. We are going to jump into the... Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, Alpha did look good. Alright, we're going to just jump into the review portion, and then when it comes to the fan feedback, I got to move the screen around. You guys should be seeing the chat on screen. You could do it on your end right now if you want to. Just go down to the live chat. However, for some reason, OBS has blacked out the chat. I don't know if maybe I need to keep it on this side. No, it's blacking out the chat. That's right. I'll just move the screen over and put the chat manually on that side of the screen in a moment. Let's cover the first impression review now that we got a few people in here. This will be a quick one. I did predict this one pretty good, that it was going to be streaming video games for a good chunk for a whole week and then doing the after show where it's just a talking head. I feel like it's empty. There's no like background noise. You know what I'm saying? There's no gameplay, and I feel like I'm missing something. Anyhow, this was filler. It was definitely filler in a lot of areas, especially going out looking for Luke and them. And it does something. I think the most important aspect is Tara and her conversation with Yumiko. I think that was the most important. Well, no, two important things. We're setting up a connection between Kelly and Luke, and that was the fact that when they got separated in one of their old communities, they had gotten separated, and it was looking bad for Kelly's situation, and Luke was the one to find her. And then when they returned and they explained themselves to Tara, they were found out. The guards did see them sneaking out, and then Tara gave the order to just make sure they were found and then brought back within the community safely. So her interaction with Yumiko, I think those were the two most effective things we got from that portion of the story. And then the other filler aspect, and I say filler because that's not really a fair term to call it, but it does feel like this episode has those filler moments. But the other moment that you can't tell right away that it's important, however, it was very important to get this covered, was the Lydia and Henry connection. And that's extremely important for the plot. So, by sheer definition, no, you can't count that aspect filler because it literally moves the why did I say literally like that? It literally moves the plot forward, and that's the opposite definition of what filler is. Filler, and I mean true filler. A lot of people on the internet find something that's slow or they don't like it and they just call it filler. But by definition, it's stuff that could be taken out completely, and the story moves without missing a beat. You can re-edit it, show it to somebody, and the story's still intact. You know, any moments like that you can remove and it doesn't miss a beat. Some of them are character moments, though, that you don't want to remove, but it was important to build that between Henry and Lydia, and I think they did a good job. For anyone confused, because once in a while we get some people who might not have caught something, but it did seem like her dad was a dick, and her dad was cutting her beard, but then we saw him with a beard, and we saw her mom with a choppy head. I was wondering if they were going with this whole... I initially thought it was she was so young she remembers pieces, but then her mother told her some, so her memory's kind of jumbled. In a way, it was like that. So when her dad was cutting her beard and saying that, it was actually her mother doing it, her mother cutting her hair, and she's like, I'm now that the world fell, I'm going to do what I want to do. Her mom was the one who was a bitch. Her dad was the soft one, being a good dad. So it made it seem like at first that dad was a dick. So that's what that was as far as her memory. We saw it in a flashback, basically through the eyes, actually straight through the memory of Lydia, which again is choppy and it's a mess between the memories that's real, what she remembers, and then what the bullshit lie that her mother fed her. So we as an audience got to experience that through Lydia and how it played out. There was one moment I was really hoping for, and that was when Henry and Lydia were making more of a connection and they went outside. In the comic, and this is the only time I'll bring up the comic like this, but in the comic there was a badass scene where Carl was still alive, and it was Carl and not Henry, and then Lydia did something like, oh, you're going to let me out, and whoop-de-whoop, and Carl was being all nice, and it was a sweet moment, and then he stopped, and they came face-to-face, and he's just like, yeah, absolutely, we're going to go out and do, it's going to be fun, we'll feed you, we'll go for a walk, the car, but if you do anything, bitch, I'm going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? It was like one of those, and then he was just like, okay, come on, we're good now, just as far as you know, or just so you know, if you try something, I'm not going to hesitate to put you down. I was kind of hoping for a moment like that where Lydia grabs the hammer, and then she goes to clock Henry, and Henry's being all like nice, and he just snatches it, and he's like, listen, let's set some ground rules here. We're going to show you how we live, but we're not weak. You try that again, and I'm going to put you down. Again, it's not in Henry's style, so maybe if Carl was alive, we would have gotten something like that. That's a scene I kind of do miss. They did have a nice aspect with the baby, though. So on the emotional aspect and having the baby pull that out of Lydia and having it more of a Lydia's decision, to put me, I'm dangerous, put me back in a wild animal, put me back in a cell. I could dig it. But in the same strength, I was kind of hoping for one of those. If we didn't get the hammer scene and Henry being a badass, I kind of did hope Daryl was staring, making sure, because he knows what's really going on, and then he kind of uncocked his crossbow. Like he felt some tension and he was ready for something to pop off and just put her down just in case, she turned wild or something like that. But they show him watching, but they just didn't show him being ready to, because if she decided to club him, he's on his own. Henry's going to get clubbed and he's going to get his skull cracked. Lydia could have cracked his skull wide open, and by the time Daryl got over there, so I kind of hope he had his crossbow ready. The other thing was when they laid down and right before they touched hands, a part of me wanted a little bit of humor moment just to show, because when people come together and there's that little bit of spark and that little bit of interest, not a lot of it is, I should say there's some of it that's unspoken. There's just that vibe. There's just that connection between people. And then some of it is being able to make each other laugh or be goofy in some way. Well, the one girl, remember they made such a point to bring up the fact that she misses the sound of the walkers. And then he's like, to be honest, like that's messed up, I thought it would have been great. And I know it could be a bit silly if when they laid down, when he went to lay down with her, he started making walker noises, and then she like slowly looks over like he's weird, and then he said, like one of those sound machines, like an ocean, it helps you fall asleep, yada yada yada, and then maybe she could burst out laughing. Now, depending on how that came out, it might have been a little too corny, but in my mind I was thinking, they needed just a little moment, because again, for those two characters as realistic characters, having that spark, having that moment, some of it we need to see as an audience, and we need to feel it as an audience. So if he was to do something that was just corny and just gave her a little laugh, that could have been something for us to see, okay, they're building some of that connection, because they are building a connection, but right now it's more of there's an interest in this girl. I'm really curious with this girl, and yeah, she's being abused, and that's pretty much it. Like, I want to protect the girl, you know what I mean? Other than that, kind of fillerish. Still, I'm still enjoying some of it. Some of the dialogue in small places was a bit miss. But then they get to the Whisperers showing up at the very end. And that's where not only is it a home run, but it gave me a whole new hype for what we're going to see with Beta in the future and the rest of the Whisperers. They had a couple creepy moments, like the Whisperer in the dark with the flashlight, and then they had the Whisperers coming through the cornfield or coming right up to the hilltop. And then Alpha's entrance, the little bit of dirt and muck on her face, and then her presence, her screen presence. I thought it was good. I know I see a few comments where people don't like the accent. We're going to get people who simply don't like the accent and people who are fine with the accent. I'm good with the accent. I mean, they are down south. You're bound to run into some people who got a little bit of southern twang to their, you know what I mean? It's just going to happen. So, for me, I did like the episode. I'm glad it wasn't an episode that I absolutely hated. Even though we are primarily at the hilltop, it still doesn't feel like a split episode. For those who've hated season 8 and season 7, a lot of it felt split, where we were only looking at a very tiny portion of the community and stuff. And I think in a way, Rick being gone helps in a big way. Because there was no Rick in this episode, there was no Michonne in this episode. However, it didn't really feel like a split episode, even though it was. There's a lot of characters gone. Carol's gone, Ezekiel's gone, Rick is gone. Everyone from the other communities, they're not in this at all. I mean, we really got Henry, we got the new group, we got Daryl, and that's it. But it had enough to it where it didn't feel like one of those painful to watch split storytelling episodes, even though you could categorize this as one of those. But the screen presence again with Alpha, I'm absolutely loving it. Definitely a home run to me. She looked a little silly with her chopped hair, but I'm glad they did that. And this is with the flashback. I'm really glad they did that instead of having it clean shaven. I hate in movies and TV where someone takes scissors and they chop their hair. Next thing you know, it's perfectly even shaven. Like, you know damn well between takes, between recording and filming, you had the hair team come in and just shave the head. I hate that shit. Or have the actor just shave it them damn selves. But anyway, again, like the episode, not blown away by the episode though. If we were doing a scale of 1 out of 10, I'm probably leaning towards maybe a 7, 7. I'm good with that. So you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about this episode, because we're going to end the first impression review right here. So if that's all you wanted to hear, you can bounce out now, or you can stick around for the fan feedback portion. I'm going to switch the screen a little bit, get the comments on the screen, and we'll see what you guys have to say. Kicking it off with the very first super chat donation that really helps keep these live streams going every single Sunday, from the Surfing Ginger. Lydia out here eating worms while Alpha is a chunky one. Left my ass off. I really like the chemistry growing between Daryl and Henry. Don't think Riggs had that. How many of you guys, let me know. We'll do a simple numbers game. How many think Henry has more charisma, more acting range than Carl? Put number 2 in the chat if you think there's more. How many think there's less and Carl had more charisma? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Carl had more of the charisma and you wanted Carl back, based on the charisma, not that he's a comic character. And how many of you, big fat 0, don't like either fucking one of them? All right, put it in the chat, a big 0. Just real quick, just 1 minute, everyone do that in the chat, and then we'll kind of see the numbers and feel where you guys stand. Can't stand Henry? Well, put a 1 or a 0. We see a lot of... We see a few 2s. We see a few 1s. 1.5, 1 at 1.5. We see a bunch of 2s, and then we got a bunch of 1s. I think it's pretty split, to be honest. Okay, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3. They both suck. That's a 0. Oh my God, some of you aren't listening. 2, 0, 0, 2, 24. You're drunk. 0, 1, 1, 2, 1. 0, 0, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. That's from the same person. 2, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 0. Wow, there's a lot of people that has 0 on that. Okay, I'm going to have to say, I think it is pretty split. It's pretty even amongst the whole. We could stop with the numbers. I think it's pretty even among everybody. Some people like Henry. Some people prefer Carl. Some people don't like either one of them. So I think that's pretty split. All right, let me get the chat in here. We're going to have to do this. to get the chat in here. Which way do I go? We could do that. Actually, you know what? No, we could do this. Bring you right back round, baby, round, round. There we go. And we take this and we put it right here. There we go. Maybe make it a little bigger like alpha. There we go. And we go down. There we go. Are you guys sick of me saying there we go yet? Bring that down. Okay. Open that up. And then go fuck yourself. Show bullshit, count them. I don't know what you're talking about. Did they cut the scene of the Whisperers watching the hilltop? Because that image for 910 was for 910, right? I believe that image was for 910. I still have it in my files as photography for 910. So that's what was released by AMC. I don't remember seeing that moment, though. Oh, wait. Joey Eisenhower. Was it weird how Magna's group snuck out at night knowing about the threats outside, then after one walker sneaks up on them, they change their minds and split up? I had that written down as a negative. That was actually one of the first negatives that stood out to me. Going out at night, dumb. Kelly, I get it. You know, it brings the connection. Going out at night is so stupid. I feel like they overlooked that just to simply get the Kelly scene in there. That is such a terribly stupid idea. Anybody, and I mean anybody who's ever had anything to do with nighttime in the woods. We have a bonfire every now and then at my grandparents' house. They have woods behind their house, and it's out of the city. It's in the country, and if you walk away from that bonfire to take a piss, or if you just get high and you take a little walk, it's black, it's dark, it's you ain't seeing shit. And there's woods there too. I mean, it's right next to the woods. You are not seeing shit. And I get they had a flashlight, but still, I mean, the only thing you're going to do is let the enemy know where you're at easily. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, the zombie that just jumped out at nowhere, a fucking ninja zombie, it's nighttime. You would hear it. You would, again, anyone who's ever been in the woods at night, it's a bunch of creaks and crackles, and if someone's walking, it is loud, especially a zombie that doesn't give a shit if you hear them or not. It's going to be shh, shh, crunch, shh, shh. And that's the shit that I get mad at the most, because that's the shit that's the scariest. Imagine somebody actually thinking, how do we utilize those sounds to amp up the fear and terror? It's super dark out. There's a bunch of sounds. Sometimes it's over there somewhere, but it's hard to really track down where the sound is coming from. You have them in the woods, you have them at nighttime, and just cut it out with the characters making sound and have these sounds around them that they gotta, move around and get around these sounds, and you just hear the threat getting closer and closer. That I like, instead of a zombie just jumping out of nowhere. Fuck that. If there was just sounds. Imagine this. Okay, I'm gonna pitch something. An idea that I feel I would have liked it better if they went out there at dark saying, you know what, it's gonna be hard. Fuck it, let's go, and whoop-de-whoop. They get out there, and there's no zombie. Cut the damn zombie. There's nothing but sounds. Slush, slush, slush. And it's everywhere. There's a sound over there. There's one over there. There's something over there. It's you know what I'm saying? And then have that girl break down, and then maybe have one of the sounds get closer, and then the zombie comes out, and they do kill it, and then they're like, listen, we can't, you know what I mean? And then they split up. For me, those sounds, that's where the money's at. Anyway. Do you think Lydia was going to kill? See what YouTube does? It goes like this with the comments. I didn't think Lydia was going to kill Henry. No, not at all. Henry's not a character that... They're setting him up for an important role in the story. They're not killing him anytime soon. Brandon Neer. Where is Connie going? In the cornfield? Why didn't she run with her group away? Well, right after that scene, if you looked at how it was structured, the zombies would have cut her off. Even if she ran, she would have ran right into the Whisperers. There was no way. It's a quick scene, but there was no way she was going to make it up there. Make a Path Presents. Yeah, at Make a Path Presents. Look at guys. It highlights the comments so then I can find you quicker. Do you think they will give Magna more of a leading role now that Rick is gone? I feel like she's the most ready to take over the Rick role, so to speak, if you read the comic. Well, in the comic, I initially thought they were going to give her a bigger role, like a female Rick role, and I was like all ready for it, and then she kind of disappeared. You know what I mean? She not disappeared, but she didn't have any story, any impact in the story. So initially, yeah, but the beginning of this just didn't have that same feel the way they did it. So I think she's going to have more of a role, yes, because they're getting rid of characters, so they need other characters, other actors to step up desperately. So I feel like she's going to have some bigger type of role than in the comic, for sure. If you were lost at night in the woods and a Matt family would go looking for you, dude, just saying, I appreciate that. But it's dark as shit. Stay home. Come out when it's daytime. Did you see how they had Aiden and Luke wearing whisper masks in a promo? I did not catch that, no. That would make sense, though, because that's something they did in the comic where a certain person didn't have a mask, and they were like, we're going to get you a mask. You need to wear one to walk among us and stuff. Fort Mitochondria. Did you notice in the preview that Alpha asked for a daughter and Daryl said no? I think that's an easy one to predict. Alpha's going to say, yo, because Daryl doesn't know they got them yet. Alpha's going to say, yo, give me my daughter. That's all I want. Daryl's going to say no. She's going to go, wrong answer, and then she's going to bring out Alden and Luke. Everyone's going to be shocked, and then Daryl's going to say yes. And then Henry's going to be like, mother, I didn't even poke that bitch yet. What are you doing, Daryl? I still got my V card, homie. You're the biggest cock blocker in the apocalypse. And then Henry's going to run off him. I just predicted the next 3 episodes. Spoiler. Krishy, could you explain the hook that was outside of the jail cell? That one they focused on? I just figured she was going to try to use that to escape. Or was that not right? Ronnie, is the Kelly character a boy or a girl? I honestly can't tell. She's a girl. I think the music this season is spot on. Think Daryl is going to join the Whispers? ? Not right now. I don't think so. I thought heavily they were going to do something, and there's still a chance for them to do something like that, but I don't know. I'm mixed. Kyle B with a $5 super chat to the channel. Thank you very much, Kyle. Agree, Magna Group stuff was filler, but still alright. I loved Alpha's backstory and the way they told it. End scene. Fucking hiccups always kick my ass. End scene gave me chills. 8 out of 10. See, we're not too far off. The end scene was great for me. I thought the build up, how it came in, I liked it. They will give up Lydia next week. Yeah, I believe so. I hope they don't keep a hostage situation for the whole episode. I think there's going to be a little back and forth, but ultimately I think they'll give her up. And it looks like they'll focus on the back and forth plus what's going on with the kingdom. I would let you die. Thank you very much, Walter White. No one likes you anyway. Alpha made me hard and terrified at the same time. So very true. Do you believe that any of our people would be hurt or injured next week, especially with Beta coming next week? Hurt or injured? No, I don't believe so. I think we need to build up for that. I think it would be counterproductive. And not seriously, though. Do you think... maybe someone for the kingdom, you know what I mean? Because they are on a little mission. But again, no one major. Did you notice Tom Payne is still in the opening credits? I don't know how that works, but they do that for actors. They don't just snatch it away. Sometimes they do, like when they faked out Glenn and stuff, but don't worry about the opening credits. I would imagine it's because we haven't seen the flashback yet of the X-Scars, and he's likely going to make an appearance in that, I would imagine. Matter of fact, didn't they do an article saying he would be in a flashback? I'm almost positive. So they'll likely keep him in the credits, since technically if he's coming back, he's still in the series right now. And then once he makes his appearance, they'll take his name out, or maybe next season. I wouldn't read too much into that. Ian Anderson, who do you think is better actor, Chandler Riggs or an actor for Henry? I need a little bit more time right now to be able to put that together. I still think there's something stiff with Henry. And again, it's little moments. And I said this about Carl. Chandler Riggs has these little moments where it's like, all right, oh my God, if you just focus on your craft, bro, you can really bring your A game. It feels like it was someone who didn't really take his craft seriously because he just basically won the acting lottery. It's like, here's a kid, here's the role of a fucking lifetime. And it's like, I got all these bitches sucking my dick, why do I need to hone my craft? And then he loses The Walking Dead, and it takes him, and I'm not saying this to hurt the dude, I'm saying, bro, if you bring your craft, there was a few moments that you can kick ass if you just hone your craft and take it serious. But, he left The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead's one of the hottest shows. You should have a job the next week. It took him a year. And in the industry, he needs to up his...
Game with 8 kills.
Oh, look at you.
Solo.
You're lying.
No,
Solo?
even my friend Keelan
Get out.
knows.
Good
my
stuff.
friend Keelan joined at the last minute to see my victory.
Good stuff. Did you record it?
Teddy says hi.
All right, get out of here. Go. I'm working. Daddy's working. All right. Love you, honey. Thank you very much for sharing that victory news with me. What?
Dad, I'm playing out there. Look.
Well, get going.
You can even hear if you want.
No, I want to finish this. Thank you.
Just
Love
kidding.
you.
I gave my friend Keelan a controller.
Oh, there's no school tomorrow, so I let her stay up. Was I talking about anything important? I don't think so. Good night. We're done. How come they haven't shown the Kingdom or Alexandria at all this season? We'll get there slowly. It's just how the story's being built up. She used a hook to attack Daryl. The hook was where the keys were. I don't think she attacked Daryl with the hook. She attacked Daryl with that water pitcher that she had. The handle. All right, so Henry said, yo, Ronnie, I had a nightmare recently where the Whisperers invaded my high school and started killing people, and Rick and Negan were there and helping me escape. Wow, dream. That is a weird dream. Normally, I'll be honest, no offense. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, so I'll talk about dreams in a second. So, it took him a year, okay? And again, I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this to be real. Telling somebody you need an improvement in a certain area, not telling people that, in my experience, it really only hurt them. Like, we used to do a lot of martial arts training and stuff in high school, and if I, around that time in my life, and if I ignored the fact that my friend was telegraphing his punches, he's going to get his nose broken. You know what I'm saying? I had a friend that used to throw like a powerhouse, but he never popped it off. He would always wind up, or there would be a tell. There would always be this tell. If I don't tell him about that, I don't give a fuck about his feelings. I'm going to tell him so he doesn't get his nose broke. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think he got the role of a lifetime. He didn't take it seriously. And then, he came off at the hottest show. It took him a year to get it. And he was trying. It wasn't like, I'm going to take some time off. No, he was trying. I think he has the ability to bring it. He just needs to take it serious and hone his craft. Anyway. Speaking about nightmares, and I'll make this super quick, I've never had a nightmare about zombies or a zombie apocalypse. Never in my life. Somebody asked me if I ever dreamt about zombies in a live stream before, recently, like a week ago, and I was like, nah. No, not at all. And the other night I had this dream where I was coming out of where we live, and it was a fog, and there was this guy who was just dazed, carrying a bag or something, and then mumbling, and I hear like shopping carts, and someone's blocking the road with shopping carts, and it was me and my daughter, and I was like, get on, and I'm on a bike, like a little bicycle, and we start speeding through the fog, and then as soon as we get a little bit into the fog, going downhill, catching speed, there's just a whole horde of... And in my mind, it was people and zombies, and they were reaching for us, and I knew we were fucked, but then I woke up or something, so. And they were like, yeah, it was crazy. It scared the bejesus out of me, in my dream. Should they have put the Polaroids of Negan's victims in the cell with him? What? I don't know what that means. I hope Alpha does not beat up Beta into submission. He easy as she did the two hefty guys in the episode. I don't think it's going to come to that. Yeah, the actress cut her hair for real. We need Carol versus Alpha. I would like a little FaceTime with them. All right, Monkey Man, the hook as where the keys were. On the Talking Dead quiz, they said Lydia used the hook, not the ladle, to attack Daryl. It happened too quick. I couldn't even tell what happened. I mean, that's possible. I just don't understand. That hook looked like it was bolted into the wall. If it was the hook, that's fine. That would make sense that they zoomed in on it, but I'll watch it again. I'll admit, hook, ladle, I don't know. It looked like it was the ladle, not the hook, so... If Michonne is leaving the series for the movies, would you prefer her finding out and leaving her family behind or being taken away in a helicopter like Rick? That I don't know. I would prefer if it was supposed to be just a short trip and shit happened and it ended up being a little longer than we expected. Now keep this in mind. A lot of people are thinking once she goes, it's going to be this whole long thing. It could be something like that where it's like, listen, I need to go away for a few weeks and then something happens and it just keeps her away. Gotta say, Alpha never really scared me in the comics much, but here in the show, same with Negan, gave me freaking chills. Did Henry also annoy you? Not too much. There's still a stiffness there with the actor. It could just be nerves. Do you think Negan will kill Alpha like he should? At this time, I really hope not. That was such a lame way that would be such a lame way for it to go out. Talking Dead is taking fan vids to win a seat on Talking Dead. Why don't you send them a compilation to highlight what you do and the community you've created? Your insight is undeniable. I did send them a video the last time, and they didn't put it up. I'll be honest. I think they asked for submissions, and they're fishing, so they're going to pick who is more marketable to be on there. Like, for example, the last person they picked was a teacher with a whole classroom of kids rooting for him. I mean, come on. That's marketing gold right there. You know, you got him on TV, and then it's, you know, and I think they even did, like, some press stuff with him, and come on. Well, I mean, that beats the hell out of a YouTuber, you know? So, I get it, you know? Nothing personal. I just wish they wouldn't. Like last time, I think maybe they knew that YouTubers would be, because it was a voting system and you were able to see it. And on their website, it was terrible. It seemed like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe the website broke or glitched. But the voting system, everyone had bad votes. Everyone that was up there, everyone was more negative than it was positive. And all the YouTuber submissions, because I wasn't the only one who put in submissions, they didn't put any of ours up on there to allow anyone to vote for us. So when it comes to stuff like that, I think that's real shoddy. Just have people put in submissions. Don't have people vote for it, because now we know, you know, it's rigged. Yo, what if Rick was one of the people on the Pikes? And keep in mind, this isn't something where, you know, maybe they didn't get I literally have the email still. They confirmed they got my submission, and they were like, oh, thank you, we'll put it up, whoop-de-whoop. They didn't. Yo, what if Rick is one of the people on the Pikes? Not happening. Hey, Ronnie, do you think Daryl will turn out to take the father role to Lydia? He could have a father-like role, but I think the build-up is really focused on the Henry and Lydia aspect. Over time, they could build that type of bond. But it'll be like a sub, you know? It's not going to be the main thing. It'll be like a sub-theme. I said that weird. Kyle B with a $2 dono. Overall thoughts on Alpha's backstory? You know, I wasn't blown away with it. I'm fine with it, though. I wasn't blown away with it. I think it could have been filmed a little better. I don't know. There's just a little something missing. But the overall message, though, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with having this, you know, just tough, touched, you know, backstory to this woman. Dream sounds pretty spooky. I hope Chibi woke you up before the dream got too sketchy. No, I just woke up. Who do you think Alpha kills? When Daryl says you can't have her in the trailer, I hope it's Alden. I think it would be bad for her to kill anyone right there. Because, again, we want our group to let their guard down. I think it would be better for them to threaten it and not actually go through with it. Again, we need a reason for our group to let their guards down to have a fair. Imagine if they're waiting for an attack any moment from these vicious animals, and then they have a fair. It's like, well, wait, what? You know? At least in the comic, it was kind of like, oh, this is touch and go, but some of the communities, some of the people didn't know. It was, I don't know, it seemed to have a little easier flow to it. And again, it didn't feel like it was gonna blow at the moment. I fucked that up, but oh well. Chandler Riggs is an awful actor. Some child actors don't transition to becoming adult actors is right. He hasn't tried to improve as an actor, but all you have to do is just be a little more humble and start over from scratch. I think the best thing to do, and if any child actor who got a good gig and then now you're in the dumps, if you just listen to this, just accept that the truth of the reality that there was nothing special in you as a child. We all want to believe there's something special in us, and we all have like a little bit. Maybe someone is good with charm or good with people, or some people are shy. Like we all have our little quirks, right? But at the end of the day, for the majority of us, for most of us, there's really nothing special. It was you had a better vibe than the other kids they saw. You know, you were probably easier to deal with, easier in the room, and yada yada yada. And then that's it. Just accept that and start over from scratch. Just say, okay, how, and go to the basic learning, you know what I mean, when it comes to acting. Don't sit there and be like, how do I really try to, just go with the basics and be humble about it. And I think your work will dramatically improve. And just watch people. I see a lot of actors not watch people, and one thing actors or people who are learning how to act or get better or improve their craft, one thing they do is they turn it off and on in the middle of scenes. You know, like when an actor's talking to someone, it's, oh, how dare you do that? And then it's back to nothing. And then as soon as they're turned to speak, then they go back to, no, you know, people aren't like that. People are listening and then expressing as they're hearing what the other actor is saying. So the other actor could be like, you know, I found your, you know, my wife's phone number in your jeans. And as I'm hearing that as an actor, I'm not waiting for my line. As I'm hearing that, I'm like, as the character thinking, oh, no. Before it's my even turn to finish, you got to convey that. Lydia does that really good. The actress that did that, with her looking around and then with the certain little fidgets she does because she's so abused. That is an actress, whether you like her or not, who studied the work and sat down with the producers and probably Angela Kang and knew well ahead of time that she was abused or beaten, especially if you go back and look at how when Daryl picks her up, again, just that little fidget. Kids that are beaten do that. They twitch when you move too fast, or a real big noise, because every minute of every day you're waiting to get your ass beat. That's just how it is. So those little quirks and ticks, that's the thing you want to really perfect if you're trying to add to your craft as an actor. Lucky, tremendous. I agree. Alpha's death in the book seemed too easy for a villain. If you could write her death, how would you do it? No pressure, man. I would need time to think about it. Yeah, I can't just like, you know, unless if it's something I've thought about it, I could, but I couldn't just, my whole thing was it would be longer, so I'm not sure. It would play out with Negan and her. I mean, I'm not sure. If I think of something, though, I'll definitely let you know. You are a great single dad. Thank you very much, Paris. What did you think of Carol's short hair story? I like the thing from season 1 coming full circle. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it fits. I mean, it's realistic. It definitely fits. Whose baby was crying like a bitch when Henry and Lydia were sneaking around? I'm not sure. Whose baby was it? It could be anybody's. I mean, you know, it's not just our main characters who have babies, so it really could be anybody. Don't forget, guys, put at Make a Path Presents. It highlights your comments, so I know you're speaking to me. That's what I'm searching for right now. Sneak peek looks dope. AF hyped. Yeah, I gotta check that out. I kind of don't like the way Alpha sounds. She sounds too country for me, just my opinion, though. I think I'm good with it. I like that you are the realist. I appreciate that, Walter. And go fuck yourself. How's that for real? The sneak peek. Alpha's Beast. I'll have to check that out. I mean, I can't do it on live stream. AMC will have my nuts in a jar. They'll be like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Besides, I don't think it's posted yet, is it? I'll look for anyone. Where's my iced tea? I'll look for anyone wondering. It's... they got a behind the scenes. And they got a sneak peek. It's Alpha's Demands. I don't know if I can. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, but what if she has Alden and Luke? Pissing her off can get them killed.
Did you kill our friends? We found their horses.
No. Which one of you leads these people?
The hell's it matter?
Then I'll just address all of you. Your people crossed into our land. There will be no conflict. Your people killed our people. There will be no conflict. I'm done talking. Bring me my daughter, or there will be conflict.
That's a good. I like her. I think she's doing good. I mean, I like it. I get it that an accent is different. I like it. I dig it. I'm good. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I imagine you could, right? Here we go. Ronnie, what happened to Gracie? She's got to be there. We just didn't see her. Who do you think will win between Beta and Daryl? Beta. Why would you walk around with the baby on late night watch? Who says she's on late night watch? I know plenty of times where Juliet was fussy, and I took her for a car ride late at night. I know there was times where she was sick or not feeling good or had a earache. Sometimes a car ride or a ride in a stroller, again, around the neighborhood. One time it was during like a lightning thunderstorm before it rained, and we just made it to the house before the rain started. But a lot of that calms them down when they're cranky or not feeling good. So she probably wasn't on watch. She was probably just taking her for a stroll, because again, with the baby, it's the sounds, it's the movement, and what are you gonna do? Walk in your house in circles, So I think she was just going for a walk to calm the baby down. And that makes sense. If the baby cries, that means the baby was fussy. And keep in mind, we got a lot of women writing. We got a lot of women there. A lot of women who are running the show now. I mean, I bet a few of them have kids. And I bet a few of them had cranky kids. And they probably know it, And that's probably just what it is. I don't think she was a guard or nothing. Ronnie, I know you want Beta to steal Daryl's knives in their fight, but if he does get them, if he takes the knives, then why doesn't he kill Daryl? How would that work? Well, it would have to be a scene where he wants to kill him. Alpha says no, and then he takes the knives instead. We've already seen them take stuff, That's what they do. You notice the horses, they killed their horses, but they skinned them so they can use their hide, and then they did eat some of the horses, or that was just the walkers that ate some of the meat. I would imagine the Whisperers would cut off a chunk of meat, to cook and stuff. These people are eating worms. I don't think they would let a horse go. Can you eat horse? I don't know. Is that a thing? But they definitely cut the hide off. So they do take stuff. Taking his knives, even if he gets away, it could be that simple where they do get in a fight, but Daryl manages to get away. It doesn't mean he's going to come back for his knives. What do we got? What do you want to happen with Megan, personally? I think you mean Negan. I'm good with him becoming, one of the group, but kind of an outcast, and rock with that for a little bit. In the Alpha flashback, the radio said they were in or around Baltimore, so why does Alpha have a southern accent? Well, I mean, I'm in North Carolina right now, but I'm from up north. It doesn't matter that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've met people with a Thai accent, you know what I'm saying, that is here. I met people with German accents, Russian accents, Indian accents. I mean, accents out the fucking ass. It doesn't mean that where I meet them is where they've been all their lives. She could have been anything. She could have been traveling. She said, these are just idiots we got stuck with. She didn't say neighbors. She didn't say these were people that they knew for a long time or family. They could have been traveling. So, the Surfer Ginger with a $5 dono to the channel. Thank you very much for that support. It absolutely helps keeping this running. Was Beta just holding the fort at the camp, or did AMC just not want to show him yet? Seems like he would be there if he's Alpha's second in command. Now, if he's the second in command, I would imagine he would fall back, either do some type of other mission, lead in some other different type of group in and around a different area. We do see him in one of the trailers with a different group. He's probably scouting on a different mission. I think it wouldn't really make sense to have your, even if you had your second in command there, you are approaching an unknown territory or group and you don't know how they're going to react or what's going to go on. It would make sense that maybe he would hold the horde back. Maybe they have a horde of walkers that they can bring in to attack the community. He could be helping move that around, Having all their people out front like that with the community, that's a risky play. Rinaldi Calixti with a $5 dono. What do the writers need to do so Henry is a fan favorite for the show? Well, here's the thing. It's a couple things. One is the actor needs to relax a little bit. He definitely has some talent there. There's definitely something there. He needs to relax a little bit so it's not as stiff. And then the writers would need to do something where, again, when it comes to giving your audience something in particular, it's a balance between the conflict and the reward. Now, conflict is great for spicing things up and keeping it interesting, but rewards are where we get the most enjoyment. But in order to reward us, you got to take something away. A lot of times you got to take something away. So Henry would have to not do something stupid, and the stuff he does can't get them into more trouble. That's key. If I was in a writer's room, I would beg them not to let something Henry does get them in more trouble. Put that on someone else's shoulders. You don't want that with Henry. Something he would do would have to be helpful in a big way. Or maybe there's a character. Jerry's a character everyone loves. Maybe Henry ends up helping him in a big jam in a big way. Daryl's a character people love. Maybe Henry helps him in a big way. Some other people, fan favorites like that. Maybe he even helps Carol in a big way. And again, that's only one small idea out of a bunch where we can get that reward. What do you want? Where are we at? I hope Alpha lasts longer on the show. Same. Hi, Ronnie, just got here. Just curious what your thoughts on the episode. My bad if you already said it 10,000 times. I can't do that in the live stream, brother. I'm sorry. Once we get into that habit, you could simply just rewind it. I appreciate you being here, but you'll have to rewind it for my whole thoughts. I gave it a 7 out of 10. There was some moments I really liked. There was some moments I didn't find all that mind-blowing. But I'm sorry I can't go more in-depth on that because I read 50 of those comments every live stream and I can't keep going over it, But I hope you're all right with that. We got a CA. I think that's Canadian. No, is that now? What is CA? I don't even know. Canadian dollar. Oh my God, I was right. You gotta be shitting me. All right. Vince Zagari. Did I say that right? Vince Zagari with $50 Canadian dollar. Hey Ronnie, love the content. Keep grinding. Much respect. You give us hours of entertainment. Just wanted to show my support. Well, thank you very much. That is a massive bomb to drop on the channel. And like I said before, it absolutely helps to keep this going. We've been going for, over a year now? Every freaking Sunday for over a year. We're heading towards 2 years straight now with every single Sunday. We only missed one, and that was when the New Year came. Remember? That was my I got the days wrong because there was so much going on between, whatever. But massive amount of support. That's definitely going to help keep this going. I appreciate that a lot. Do you think the Walking Dead movies will be what we need them to be at the end of the third movie? Will the closure we get with Rick be good enough for the two to move on without him? That's tricky, man, because if it's not set up right, we're not going to get that closure. If Andrew Lincoln is just simply done after 3 and they weren't able to make them unite in the right way, we're just not getting proper closure. He might even end up dying after those 3 episodes. who knows? We're talking about if the actor is done or it can't work, or maybe The Walking Dead falls off so much that no one's even supporting it enough for AMC to keep it going in that way. You know what I'm saying? And they have to do something different. Maybe they can't do the movies. Maybe they need to do them on a smaller scale, and maybe it just doesn't work out. Maybe they end up getting in a fight with Andrew Lincoln. I think if everything stays good, yes, there's a way to make the closure. Yes, if the peace can be made and AMC's not greedy and no beef pops off, I think, yes, there's a way to get that closure. I think people don't like Alpha's voices because when you read, there isn't a voice assigned to it. So when you hear the voice, it surprises them and they didn't expect it. Sure, for some comic fans, but what about the people who don't read the comic? Sorry, I just got here, but what do you think about Alpha's initial introduction on the show? I thought it was great. I loved it. I think it was the best part of the episode, to be honest. How can there be snow in the season finale if they're doing a fair a few episodes before, presumably, another time skip? No. I mean, they could be setting up the fair and the cold weather runs in. There's times, like I said, back home in Pennsylvania where you're good 1 minute, next minute you got 2 feet of snow and it's freezing and you go outside and you're going to die. I'm late, but isn't Henry the one who was hell-bent on killing a savior with the longbow when he wanted to fight a group of saviors? He has that in him to check Lydia. Yeah, you're right. He has a little bit of history now. I think it's because they make him such a little soft-ass now. Or at least maybe that's the vibe I'm getting, But he does have a fighting background, so it would make sense that he would have the reflexes to do that, Would you want to see a flashback showing how Alpha formed the Whispers? Not fully, because it does take away some of that mystique. I want to get into the present, not linger into the past. But I think it would be cool showing how in what way they realized it without great detail, because we've seen it 1,000 times. Comic, video games, the companion show with Nick. I mean, we've seen it, but just show us at what point was it like, oh my God, we can use this. How do you feel? Do you feel like the show has an overemphasis on strong women? Alpha feels normal, but the rest of the cast feels forced. I think, unfortunately, it's in our culture nowadays, and it will even out. That's the only disappointing thing about letting too much emotion run into the art, because you get a lot of people like Brie Larson, for example. That woman can't keep her foot out of her mouth. If she would just shut up and whatever, she's actually hurting ticket sales in a way, even if it's a small way, to Captain Marvel. Just shut up and just promote the movie. And I think a lot of I don't know what else to call it, but a lot of the working man, man, woman, doesn't matter, but a lot of the working man just sees entertainers as entertainment. So once you start crossing over that, it gets a little bit to like, okay, come on, bro. As far as strong women in the show, if there's a realistic balance between the strong ones and the weak ones, it's fine. But if it's an over emphasis on only the strong ones without showing us the weak ones, then it becomes ridiculous and not realistic. Thoughts on what you've seen of Avengers Endgame? Looking pretty dark. We're going to keep this about The Walking Dead for a little bit longer, and then we can open it up a little bit because we're close to the end. I think it looks good. I'm nervous what they're doing with Captain Marvel, though. I'll be honest. Captain Marvel looks dumb as shit. I was really interested. I remember when it first came out, I was like, oh shit, I like Brie Larson from Free Fire. I like Free Fire, She was in that. I liked her in that. I was like, let's do this. Everyone was like, whoa, Brie Larson, a bitch. I still didn't see a whole lot. I seen some things where I just roll my eyes and I'm like, oh my God. Celebrities, sometimes, they just really think they're the fucking bomb. Now, when it comes to... Let me clarify. One thing in particular, I think. There's a challenge. Apparently, this is a movie challenge in Marvel movies where you take underprivileged kids to see your movie. Go ahead, have at it. I just think it's so stupid. You get $5 million for the role, just pay it. I think it was like $16,000. Just why are you asking, the working man to everyone to support? Just pay it and shut up. Just take them and shut up. That's a tiny thing, though. I know people. I don't even want to get into it here, but I am a little nervous how they're gonna, because Endgame looks really good. Avengers Infinity War, I was like, oh my God, this is one of my favorite, hero movies, and Marvel doesn't do it for me like that. I'm not really big into Marvel like that. I feel like there's not a lot of weight to the Marvel movies. However, that was good. I enjoyed that. Every time I watched it, I enjoyed it. Captain Marvel crossing over, though, seeing as Captain Marvel looks so dumb, I'm nervous about that aspect. And Ronnie, do you think Henry and Lydia eating worms together was a twist? Yes, I do. On the Lydia licking Carl's eye socket, that's the first thing I thought of. Both were equally disgusting. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. Bring me the DOTA and there will be conflict. When are you going to play Red Dead Redemption 2? It's such an awesome game. Not anytime soon with amazing cutscenes. If you do play it, will you stream it? Oh, I've already played it. I've already played it. In my own time when it first came out, I bought it day one and played it. I really like it. When I get more time, I want to get back into it. But we have a schedule right now, and Red Dead Redemption's just not on the schedule. I will not play the whole game whenever I get to it. It's just too long unless we run into extra time. And if I do play it, it'll most definitely be on the second channel, the Ronnie Hayes channel. I'll tell you that right now. 99.9% chance it will be on the Ronnie Hayes channel. If you haven't subscribed, the link's down below to that. If the first The Walking Dead movie bombs, can they bring back Rick into the show? No, not unless he wants to, and that's for the filming reasons. Do you think Gabriel will get the Pike? I hope not. I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to think he's going to go on the Pike. Not at this time. Hold on, we got a couple super chats I missed. Let me go up here where they came in. Oh, wait, I already did that one? Let's do this one. Dave Ulrich with a $10 dono helping support the channel to keep this running. Do you think the Negan can ever be trusted? The Negan. 100% by the group. If yes, then would we have... For those who don't know, I've been sick this week and I'm still a little foggy in the head apparently. And it's still hard to breathe. But we're getting there. I am feeling a lot better today than the past few days. Do you think Negan can ever be trusted 100% by the group? If yes, then what would he have to do in order to be completely trusted? Save Judith. Save some of the others. That's simply it. Putting his ass on the line to save the others. I think when it comes to Negan, that's a little bit of an easier one because he seems like he's a person that's not a coward. If he's going to get one over on you, you're going to know it, Kyle B with a $2 dono. You think it was too soon to have an alpha flashback? Nah, I'm good with it. Showcase what the woman was like. This showcased that she had it in her from the beginning to be when she saw the world crumbling. We don't really know before that how she was as a parent, what she was. We just have this idea that she was a tough bitch. She put down her foot. But once the world was crumbling and her survival instinct and self-preservation kicked in, there wasn't shit she wouldn't do to survive. That's it. Survival is key by any means necessary. The old ways of life don't matter. Move forward, push on ahead. And now we know that. Right from the rip. She didn't slowly, unwillingly accept this. She said, okay, the world is done. I'm doing this, Do you think Gabriel, I already read that. Brother didn't know that Kelly was a girl. I didn't either at first. My brother didn't know. Yeah, she's a girl. Which storyline were you more... I thought that was pretty clear. When you see her short hair style, it's like, okay, is this boy or girl? But then when she talks, I thought it was pretty clear. Which storyline were you more disappointed by in their transition to the TV, the governor, and or the Saviors All-Out War? More disappointed by? I would have to say the Saviors and All-Out War because I was expecting more from that. With the governor and stuff, that was at the time where I was new to the comic, so it didn't have that attachment like it was with the Saviors and them. What do you think about the acting? I think it was horrible. If you're saying the whole episode, I'm going to have to disagree with that. I don't think you can cover anybody. There's a few weak moments with certain things. I don't think you could cover everyone. I think that's unfair to say. Every single bit of acting in this episode was horrible. I don't think that's fair at all to say. If you didn't like the dialogue throughout the whole thing, I could see that, but I still I think the dialogue was fine in a lot of it. There's a couple moments where it fell flat. A couple moments that were a little too like, oh, okay, I could tell women are writing and women are in charge, you know? Do you wish Morgan was back in The Walking Dead right now? Absolutely. Ronnie, how far into the comics when the show started? Yo, Ronnie, how far into the comics when the show started? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't read the comics till season 2. Do you feel the group with Mika, Luke, and Kelly, other than Magna, are annoying? Magna is the only person worth keeping. No, I don't think Connie's annoying. Luke's fine with me. Miko, you mean Yumiko? Oh, I think that's short for Yumiko, right? Yumiko, I'm fine with Yumiko. I think Kelly's actor overdoes it a bit with some of it's a little bit overacting, you know, just a little bit, and I wish she would just tame that down, you know. Other than that, I'm not all that annoyed by them. In regards to Lydia, is the beating a replacement aspect for raping? It fucking better not be. Just curious on how you think of Daryl's character this season. I like his character this season a lot better than I've been liking him. Guys, if you want to write a comment to me, make sure you're hitting @MakeAPathPresents. It highlights it, as you can see here. That way, I'm not trying to read through and see who... Because a lot of people are talking to each other, and I love that. But if you want something directly at me, please highlight it. That way, I can find it easier. Do you think it's odd that Aaron wasn't angry and wanted to get revenge for Jesus? He just left for Alexandria like nothing happened. I don't see Aaron as the bloodthirsty type like that for revenge. So, no, I think if you put a whisper in front of him, I think he would probably, in the right, if they're making peace or not sure what they were going to do, if he's going home and a whisperer walks out in the middle of the road, he might kill him. I think he'd probably snap in that aspect. I believe that. But I don't see him the type to mount a posse and go after people. Stephen Smith, do you think it's odd that... Oh, I already did that one. Alex, 57. Do you think Morgan and Dwight will come back after Fear Season 5? I think it's possible, but at this time, I don't know. I think it's definitely possible for them to bounce around. That's the main goal that we can tell with the contracts. They want everyone in a contract where they can bounce them around from show to show, from movie to show to companion show to main show. If Alpha is killed in the show, who and how do you want her killed? I don't know yet. I want it longer than it was in the comic, or a little more involved. And at this time, I'm unsure. I would have to see how it plays out more. Like, if there was a real rivalry between Carol and Alpha, and I thought that would work, I would pick that. But right now, it's too early to tell as the story's unfolding. If they do it just like the comic, I think a part of that could definitely work in a shocking and startling way. But I want them to add a little more value or a little more weight to it before we get to that point. Shouldn't women be an endangered species this far into a world where complaining doesn't do shit for you? No. Striker, on Talking Dead, Galen Hurd said there may be big Alpha and Carol fight, and if so, it would put Carol versus Mary from Terminus to shame. So excited for this. There will be, or there may be. I'm hyped for that if they're hinting, or if they're teasing that. Hirani, what do you think Rick would have said to Alpha when she arrived? He probably would have said the same thing. No. Until they revealed that they have hostages, then he would have said yes. Ronald, tell me why Alpha looks like she survived Ebola 6 times. Because she did. Hi, Ronnie. How do you think Maggie would have handled this? I hope you read my question. How would Maggie handle it? I think the same way. There's no other way to handle this. No matter who you put in the middle, there's no way to handle this unless they were situated and Rick said, okay, grab all the guns and just shoot everyone you can. I mean, maybe they could, but do they have enough guns there at the hilltop? Do they have enough ammo? Do they have enough people to shoot? Do they, like, as good shooters? I don't know. It's tricky to tell. Not only that, if they showcase that there's more of them in the woods, do you want to take that chance? I'm not sure. Why not just do a simple trade? Do you think the Whisperers walking like people look like a gang of Michael Myers? Yeah, a little bit. Do you think Daryl will get the mother-loving shit beat out of him by Beta? I hope so. Do you think it was funny when Aaron tackled Jesus off the horse? I did. It was a little weird. My bad. I meant to ask how far in were the comics when the show started. The comics were around pages 80. Because there's photo variants for 84. So I want to say when it aired, they were around 80 to 90. When they aired, it was around 80 to 90, something like that. But definitely around that area. Dude, are you watching new season of True Detective? It's been kicking so much ass. Looks like Michael Rooker will be in next week's season finale. Thanks for the spoiler, dick. Yeah, I'm watching it and I'm loving it. I think it's great. True Detective is a great example of how modern day writers get too emotional, and you can tell, what era a writer is from when they have that emotion leak into their writing. Back in the 80s and 90s, people didn't say white privilege. You know what I'm saying? That didn't exist. People didn't talk about it. I'm sure there was some Yahoo spouting it, but you see that creep up, I mean, there's still racial tension. There's still racism. You're never going to not have racial tension and racism, ever. You know what I mean? It's always going to be there, either a little bit or a lot. It will always be there. When you have different cultures, it's always going to be there, no matter what. Now, when it comes to the writer, you see some of those things leaking into the writing. It's not overbearing, but there's some things leaking in where I'm just like, oh, here we go, I think Negan will get along okay with most people soon. I mean, it's already been 7 years since Glenn and Abe's death. There's only like 3 people left that know what happened. Good point. Was Beta with Alpha's group when she came up to the fence? No. Where the fuck is my motherfucking iced tea at? It's on the flow. It's on the flow. I was going to say something else, but never mind. Am I the only one who thinks Alpha's actress was a horrible casting call? I do not at this point in time. I think she's doing real good. Why couldn't Connie catch up with the rest of the group? Go watch it again. They explain it with that one quick scene. The Whisperers would have cut her off. There's no way they wouldn't have. Ronnie, did you notice at the end of the episode, Alpha resembled to Darth Vader without his mask at the end of Return of the Jedi? Looked pretty close, I admit that, yes. Who do you think will be on the Pike Death? I have a whole video covering everyone I think will get the Pike Death. If you want to watch that, that's on the channel. I appreciate the support with that. Ronnie, sorry I'm late. You better not ask how I thought the episode was. Radical Z said, had to really analyze this episode as I exercised. Also, it's ironic that Lydia asked when Halloween was because they're literally dressing up as zombies. Yeah, I think that might have been thrown in there for 2 things. 1, because they're dressing up as zombies, but 2, Whisperers are like Michael Myers in a way, and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is even more so, because that's skin. Is Rick going back to The Walking Dead, or is the 3rd movie the end of the Rick's? At this time, the 3rd movie is the end. But keep in mind, guys, we're asking questions to stuff that they could change a year from now. Rick could be like, I'm done. 3 movies and I am done. Something could happen, not Rick, Andrew Lincoln. Something could happen in his life in a year from now, and he's like, no, you know what? We have a plan for 5 movies, and I love it. Oh my God, I'm doing it. Bro, we can't answer that. You know what I mean? None of us can just read the future. At this point in time, it's done after 3 movies. But if they have a better play for 4 movies or 5, and he loves it, and he's passionate about it, then we'll get 5, Alright, we got another $5 dono from Kyle Nelson, helping the channel out big time. With the main focus being on Hilltop right now, do you think Alexandria will have the big battle against the Whisperers at the Hilltop in the comic? I've been thinking about this for a little bit. Alexandria, I don't know why, but it's a community where real people live. It's not just a community that like the I'm done. Like the hilltop where they built it and they left it, they set it and forget it, you know? I think it would probably be less of a hassle. I think it would probably be easier. It might even be more cost effective. I'm not sure how it is filming in an area where people live. It just doesn't. At first, I thought AMC did it to recoup some money. I mean, people would pay big bucks to live on the fucking set of The Walking Dead. Are you shitting me? And again, it's not the set, you know, but there's some streets that get blocked off. You hear shit, explosions, filming, you know, lights, depending on where you're at. I'm starting a Patreon. I want to live there. I think the houses are $800,000. Who wants to join me? I swear to God, I'll let you guys take turns sleeping over. But I can rent a house. I can do these fucking videos when they're filming. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think a part of me believes we might see more action at the Hilltop and possibly the Kingdom's second runner-up compared to Alexandria, because I do not believe it'd be easier to film what's coming up at Alexandria. I don't think so. You like The Watchmen? It's going to be on HBO. I'm excited for it. I could take The Watchmen or leave it. I'm going to take it or leave it with Watchmen. We'll see. If it looks good, I'll watch it. If it doesn't, I'm good. Are Sadiq and Rosita still at the Hilltop, or did they go back to Alexandria? I think Rosita went back. I don't know about Sadiq. Were they going back together? I think Eugene is gone too, to be honest. Do you think Lydia will end up helping our survivors? Yeah. Why do you think they were letting Connie walk by herself at the end? I think she was just strolling, slacking, you know? Yeah, it does seem like someone would be by her at all times because she's deaf. How do you feel about Carl's eye-licking sex scene being replaced with the... Well, hold on. We don't know if they replaced the sex scene yet. They only started building their connection. Keep in mind, Lydia doesn't just come to the Hilltop once in a comic. I don't know if you forget the story, but she does make a return trip. So there's a really good chance we're going to get that again. We're going to get that. And Lydia's rape storyline being turned into a beating storyline. Again, we don't know if the rapes aren't talked about yet. We could see that as well. I am starting to feel like they might be changing it and they're not going to do the rapes. Which, again, pussies. You know, come on. Here we go. You get women running the show and God forbid Rosita can't cheat. And we can't have a rape story. Let's do beatings. I would give her back to her mother. Just go. You know what I mean? You want to be with us? Run away at nighttime. Just run away. And then we'll pretend you didn't come here. If you ran away, good. Run away. You know what I mean? But, whatever. Do you think sexual assault of Lydia would be too much for the audience to discuss them and make her character too victimized for a female character? That's probably... all right, maybe I'm out of touch with society, but too victimized? I didn't even know such a thing existed. You know what I mean? No. I don't agree with that at all. Ronnie, the wings on Daryl's vest, there's one wing gone. Yes, it's been gone for a bit. Do you think they meant to do that because Rick is gone? I think there's a number of symbolism for that. We actually discussed that coming up in the deeper into. Ronnie, will we ever see the Kingdom again? Yeah, we're actually going to see that real soon. Next episode, part of it. Was Lydia the girl the governor kept in the house in chains? Absolutely, Fox King. You're right on the fucking ball. I need to hire you as one of my eagle eye for the deeper into videos. You're taking over. You're writing the scripts. Last question about Red Dead 2. Judging by what you know about the story, do you think it could work for seasons 3 with 4 and what? It could work with 3 seasons with 4 chapters in each and 30 episodes each as a TV show? Bro, I don't know enough about the story to even answer that. I don't know. I only played a few hours, but roaming around. The story barely got started when I stopped playing. It was too quick when Lydia attacked Daryl with the hook. Yeah, it was pretty quick. Brian Ackham, do you think they were really going to cut the whole Henry Love scene with Lydia? I didn't think they're going to cut it, no. There's still a chance we're going to get it. There are spoilers for the Pike death. About including me. Yeah, terrible gamer. I don't know why people do that. I believe it or not, I get that a lot. I will talk about how much I hate spoilers, and somebody will message me and go, bro, this is the biggest spoiler ever in the history of the show. But because it's the biggest ever, you must want to know about this, right? And I'll be like, you're joking, right? No, I don't want to know. And they're like, bro, are you serious? Because it's about, like, the biggest death ever. And, oh, my God, Daryl fans. And it's like, bro, are you like, only an idiot would not be able to tell what you're talking about by reading that. You know? There's a number of times where I got triggered and ranted about spoilers because it's people that will, a lot of times it was people that will be like, Ronnie, dude, there's a spoiler out about, like, the Wolves, bro. Trust me, your prediction was 100% on point. I won't tell you what it is, but oh my fucking God, like everything to a detail. And it's like, bro, just wait. And I'm like, I hate you. I'm sorry. I hate you. I didn't really like the episode, Ronnie. I'm sorry. I felt like Kang wasn't trying. Two things. Let's not gimple Kang. What I mean by that is you can't blame her for everything. She can't write every single episode. She has writers. She controls the story overall. And there's a lot of other things. There's a lot. You'd be shocked. If you look into a showrunner, there's a lot of other shit that she's got to deal with. So she probably, I don't know who wrote this episode. Someone go and look it up. As far as the style, I mean, they needed a certain thing and they got it. Like I said before, it wasn't a home run for me. I liked some things, I liked more than I hated, but I still think they could have done better. But they need to fill out those 16 episodes and get to certain points in certain areas. And like I said, I called this last week what we were going to get, and we got it, you know? Hold on, I'm missing some super chats. Let me catch up here. Corey88, man, with a $2 dono, helping to keep this thing going. Hard to watch Alpha's acting. Negan bash her head. Oh, man, that's rough. That's rough. Okay, make sure we catching up where we need to be. Low key, no pressure. With a $5 dono, again, helping to keep this going. Watch the sneak peek, Ronald, and shut your behind up. YouTube won't let me say the dreaded F word. I did watch it. We just watched it like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, like 20 minutes ago. I watched it, you know? And I said it was good. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Can't wait for my boy Opie to walk around in a zombie skin slapping the shit out of people. Sent you a PayPal donation as well, my man. Bro, I'm going right to PayPal now. D-Man with a $30 dono coming in hot with the 30.00. Thank you very much for the support to help keep this fucking going. How do you feel about Tara being a leader? I hate it. She's doing okay. Did you check out my fuck it. Did you check out my novel, The House of Lansonbury by Daniel? Wait, did you check out my novel? I didn't know it was your novel, bro. I swear to God. Remember I joked around and I said, I bet you that's your novel. You never said that was your novel. You said, yo, check out this writer, yada, yada, yada. And I said, let me find out you're Daniel Webb or whatever. The House of Lansonbury. I tell you what is it about first? And then I'll go. If it's like a romance thing, it's probably not up my alley. But if it's some fire and it's like, oh, apocalyptic or zombies or monsters or horror or something cool, I might give it a peek, brother. Keep up the good work. House of Lansonbury. I'll give it a look up, brother. But thank you very much for the dono. I appreciate that support. And now we know your D-man is Daniel Webb. As far as for real about Tara being a leader, I don't like it because it's simply just compensating for them not being able to make a deal with Maggie. It shows, and it's frustrating. Okay, we got a $5 dono from the directly onto PayPal from Chris Taus. Thank you very, very much. As a matter of fact, we're going to be ending this soon. My kid don't got school. We might be able to bang out the final episode in The Walking Dead Season 2 from Telltale Games. I think we're on the very last episode. If you guys want that next, let me know. Like I said, she doesn't have school. I might be able to squeeze it in tonight. Thank you very much from Chris Taus. And then Tom Taylor coming in hot with the $5 dono. It didn't tell me exactly what that was because it's in, what is it? The UK money? BG. Why can't I do this every week with my comic? I do the, because my artist lives in the UK and it's the, whatever, the conversion rate. I don't know what it is. But thank you very much for the direct to PayPal dono. Who's this? Bronx Boy. Ronnie is a sexist piece of shit. Ouch. Bro, that hurts. Thank you, Bronx Boy. Okay. That goes with my picture of the Alpha Predator. Bro, if you guys haven't seen it, I made a video about the Alpha Predator. I'm sorry if you don't like Alpha Predators, but holy shit. That guy looks good. Oh, man. Well, if you take that out of context, that probably sound weird. Low key, no pressure. With a $2 dono. I mean, the Talking Dead sneak peek dipshit. But you said, I don't know what you said, to be honest. How am I going to watch the Talking Dead sneak peek, you dipshit? If it's not on YouTube, you dipshit. I don't know what you expect me to magically pull it from the air. Do I have connects like that? Bro, I'm not sexist at all. Anyone who says that is ridiculous. Good luck trying to prove that. GBP, yeah. And it's Taylor Randall. Oh, my bad. Thank you very much, Taylor Randall, for the direct to PayPal dono, helping to keep this thing going. Yeah, I looked again. I don't see no... And, bro, listen, just, you know what? Hold your horses. Horses? Hold your horses. Because I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow anyway. So, relax. Bang one out for sure, the game. You had to clarify the game? Oh, jeez. Will Lydia get a cat like in the poems? Sure. GBP. What else we got? Fiction crime story. A mix between the fictional crime story, a mix between The Godfather and The X-Files, The House of Lansbury. I like Godfathers. I like The Godfather and I like X-Files. Put down on the list. Please don't think I'll be able to. I'm telling you right now, this week is so fucked. I even got to take the car to the shop, and I don't know how I'm going to find time to. So give me a few weeks, probably. I'll probably check it out, but don't be over here tomorrow being like, Ronnie, you read my novel yet? But give me a bit. I'll put it down on the list of other stuff I got to look up and look into. Also, please play the final episode before the dreaded Season 3. Radical, I love you, but sometimes I want to slap the fire out of your ass. Why would I play Season 3 and not finish the last episode in Season 2? Dear God, boy, that doesn't make any sense. Terrible gamer. Sorry, this isn't about The Walking Dead. But I'm sorry your mother didn't swallow. Let's talk about The Last of Us. I'm so excited for the PS2, and Naughty Dog still doesn't have a release date. Listen, I said, everyone's like, it's coming out in May. Not everyone, but I'm telling you guys, they don't do that. It is impossible for them to release in May. They're not releasing in May. They're not releasing in June. They didn't even do the pre-sales yet. They didn't do the pre-sale build-up hype. That is massive for a title, especially The Last of Us 2. They're not just going to go, it's coming out 2 months. You know, you got it. No, dear God, no. As of right now, it is most likely the end of 2019 or sometime in 2020. They're not going to pump it out. I know people think like Mother's Day, and I watched someone's YouTube video. It was a gamer. I don't think he's in the Matt family, so we can make fun of him. But He had probably the worst clickbait YouTube video of all time. It was picking a bunch of bullshit reasons why it was going to come out on Mother's Day, and it's not. It is not 100%. It's not coming out on Mother's Day. It's just not. What is the flavor you're vaping? It's this shit. It's Devil's Punch Bowl. It's doing good. I mean, I use it to quit smoking, and I'm cutting down on this. Actually, I think I smoke it too much when I stream, but other than that, because it's just right here, and it tastes so good. I probably did have to clarify this internet stuff can get crazy. Yep. Why is everyone turned on by Alpha? I'm not, to be honest. I just joke around because it's funny, because she's wearing a skin. I got weird sex fetishes, I think. Huh. That is weird, too, because I have this thing with a woman, sexy, leather jacket, red scarf, and then holding Lucille. Yeah. But then I'm thinking, that's Negan. Do I have some issues? I might. I just think leather's sexy on women. And a baseball bat with barbed wire. But it has to be real. None of that role play, fake bat with barbed wire bullshit. It has to be the real thing. What do you think about Heath's role will be when the comics come? Wait, when he comes back? Could he be a Whisperer himself? Heath is not coming back. They've already confirmed Heath is going to be in the Rick movies, or at least they confirmed Heath did get traded to the same community Rick was at. So Heath is not coming back. Heath was taken by that same community that has Rick right now. Bowman's World with a $2 dono. Ronnie, your jokes and comebacks are on fire tonight. Thank you. I mean, thank you. I feel like my head is, I'm not kidding, being sick and then being just, bro, I don't like it. I don't get it. I feel foggy headed. I feel like I'm off my game. So I appreciate it if you think they're on fire. I appreciate that. Goddamn, you're a fucking prick. Oh, I mean, you said I'm a funny prick. Thank you very much. Would it be okay if Lydia killed Alpha to save Henry? Have you seen any previews of the Umbrella Academy or read the comics? No. I saw a little preview of the Umbrella Academy tonight. They showed it, and it looks okay. I like Ellen Page, so I'd probably check it out for her. Yeah. Did you do a review of the Walking Dead seasons yet? No. I'm not reviewing the video game until all the seasons are done, so we can review them all one after another. Get your last couple questions in here, though. We are at our time limit, and I think a few people want to... Yeah, we're at our cutoff point, but I think a few people want to do the Walking Dead game. If you want to come back, I will be taking a 10-minute break, and then I'll be coming back. I got to set it all up for the Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 5. I already have all of the other Season 1 all up. I have 400 Days. That's up in one video. And I have Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2 in one video, and Episodes 3 and 4 in another video. If you want to check those out, they're all on the channel. If you've missed some of my videos, they're on the channel. A lot of people aren't getting notifications, so definitely check those out if you're interested. Don't sass me, Ronald, from Low Key No Pressure. Thank you very much for that $2 dono. I'll sass the shit out of you if I want. Ronnie streaming twice tonight. Damn, the man's dedicated. Fuck yes, I am. I'm streaming twice tonight. We're in the limit. See, here's the thing. I'm afraid we're going to get really super busy and we won't be able to get the Telltale game wrapped up. And we need to have it wrapped up, or a lot of it wrapped up by March. March is the big month where we're going to slowly transition into the different content being on the two different channels with the polished videos. I should say it's not going to change overnight, but it's where you're going to see the Deeper Into come back. You're going to see a couple others I'm not mentioning till we're ready to put them out. But we're going to start slowly. The transition will slowly start in March. So it's important. Everything we're doing this year, we're on point. January was to build up. February is to keep the content consistent. And again, some of that might not make sense on your end, but on my end, I'm working things with time management, with scheduling. So for me, it's good to know how much I could do in a given day when I'm doing like a huge live stream or this and that. It's restructuring things on my end, so it helps. It really helps. On your end, it might seem like, well, what's the point? But trust me, there's especially when it comes to time management and making schedules, because after April, I want to be able to set schedules up. This is what we're doing and when. Like Deeper Into is coming out, April 16th, da-da-da-da-da. I want to be able to do that. That's not a real date. I just made that up, so don't. Yo, Ronnie, love the finale. Beautiful choices to make, my man. You'll love the finale. Thank you very much. Don't have a serial killer coming to Doomsday Kingdom. Wait, don't you have a serial killer coming to Doomsday Kingdom, Ronnie? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah. Sooner than you think. Even after you read issue 4, it'll be... There may be a little... hint in there, but he's coming sooner than you think. How will Daryl fight Beta? If the Negan hasn't, I'm hoping they both fight him. Hasn't found his baseball bat yet. Oh, question mark. Fox, you're mixing the comic up. The comic happened at a different moment. I see a lot of fans doing it. Yo, go and reread the comic. I see a lot of people mixing things up. The comic has a lot of moments where there's a lot of different separate interactions. You're mixing a moment up from the end of the Whisperer story towards the end, and you're mixing that up. I'm looking at something that's going to happen soon, not later on. People are easily triggered. Get that cat out of here. Beta in episode 11, I hope so. Beta will be awesome to see. Oh, you're so cute, right? I hate that cat so much. I hate it. What's up?
I make sure the hair get all over you.
What's up, Chibi?
Why you smell
My
like
buddy. She likes it. You my buddy? You my buddy?
Oh, look at her face.
Aw. Hold still. Aw. Oh, wait, they couldn't see. I was going to go like this. Aw. You still can't see. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Over here.
I can't do it. I'm going to stab the cat.
I still see
Will you be playing Apex Legends? Not tonight, no. Why are you so dedicated to your YouTube channel? What do you love about doing what you do? I'm also a big fan, but I'm genuinely curious. I mean, that's tricky because there's a number of different things. There's different things I think I love with the different videos. It's not the same throughout. Like, for example, doing a video game gameplay, I get a very different something out of that than I do with the Deeper Intos. The Deeper Into, that taps into more of my passion of what I want to do. I want to create original content. For now, we don't have funding. You know what I mean? I can't just film a movie. So that's as close as it gets, putting those together and yada, yada, yada. And it's a lot better than... taking someone else's work and not adding anything that's uniquely mine, you know? People who get into the Deeper Into videos, I feel confident with them because I'm that aspect that no one else... I mean, a lot of people can do their own take on it, but people get connected to certain types of charismas and stuff like that. So that's my one thing that I know I can provide. It's not like anyone can just upload that on YouTube, like if I just uploaded clips, you know, or something. I don't know how to explain it, but as far as why am I so dedicated to the YouTube channel? Well, right now it has to do with building the community. It's not just the YouTube channel. It's the community's the most important aspect. The channel essentially doesn't matter as long as the community stays intact. The channel is just one platform to reach the community. So for me, the dedication, when I look at it, it's not just, I need to stay dedicated to the channel itself. That can go at any time. It's the community that's the important thing, because if I get the opportunity or find a way to get funding and I can make my own original content in the future, I need the community support, and I would love to be able to bring something out to the community.
Where'd you put my charger?
Your charger is I didn't touch it, honey. I just
Are you
picked it
sure?
up.
Because it's not where it is.
Well, you have to go look. I'll be out in a minute. You got to look around, please, because I vacuumed. So I just picked it up and put it somewhere, kiddo. Open your eyes, how about?
How about you open your light?
Do you think AMC will make a spin-off starring Judith and RJ in the near future? I think they should keep that as an open possibility. Sorry. Should episode 12 be when we see Daryl versus Beta fight? I don't know about a specific episode. No, in the Walking Dead Telltale game, they already confirmed it was one solo whisperer, so it wasn't a whole tribe. Ronnie, you're writing anything currently non-Doomsday Kingdom related? I'm always writing, absolutely. If you're a writer and you're only working on one project, you're gonna fail, and you're a failure. You suck at life. You don't have to sit down and only focus on... I'm sorry, you don't have to sit down and focus on 10 different stories at the same time, but it's... at certain moments you get these ideas for something, and a lot of writers call it the shoebox or whatever. Back in the day, it could be a shoebox because you wrote on a piece of paper whatever idea you had for a story, for a piece that could go in a story you're working on, and then you put it in a shoebox. I have a map binder, and when it comes to stories, I do have like it's like a notebook where a whole bunch of different scenes are written out, or stories, or different ideas. So me personally, it's open. If I have a certain idea for a crime, horror, slasher, zombies, monsters, those ideas, I don't just go, oh, that would be a cool idea, but I'm working on Doomsday Kingdom, so I can't follow that any further. No, I embrace that. I write that down, and I keep it in my thing. And then sometimes scroll through it. When you need an idea for, let's say, you're about to start a crime story, you go through your stories, and you go through your list, and you pick out different ideas and see if you can incorporate that in your overall thing. I'm trying to get the last few questions answered here. Ronnie, you're writing it? Okay. Because so many leaders exiting the show, do you think they will destroy an entire community? I think they should. Do you think Lydia... Yeah, I've said that even before people were leaving. I think it's better for them if they destroy communities. Do you think Lydia will ever go back to Alpha? Yeah, I do. Because, she hasn't been fully pampered yet. So, did you get Girl Scout cookies? Which ones? Only the mint chocolate chip. Will Daryl braid his long hair? Yeah, he will. How did you come up with your channel name? I actually have a video describing it in general, but essentially what it would break down to is you can't always just take a path that's before you. Or you can always take the easy road. You walk outside and it's not like there's always a path that's a fresh, clean sidewalk with no ice, no sticks, no whatever. It's just nice walkway where life is easy and you can walk down it. Sometimes you're going to have to put in the work and make your own path. If you want to succeed, there's going to be moments in your life, not your whole life, but certain moments where you're going to have to make your own path. And that's essentially bust your ass and do what you got to do, If the zombie apocalypse happened, where would you personally spend the first week? Probably either at a pharmacy that's near like a shopping center. Do you think the Alpha will strip down naked to get Lydia back? Oh, yeah, probably, I agree that about the writing. I'm always between 2 or 3 things at a time. Writing is the most cathartic thing. Yeah, you gotta always write. Yeah, The Walking Dead Season 4 takes place after the Whisperer War. And you asked the question before, so if you already knew, why are you asking? If zombie apocalypse happened, all right. I think we're down near the end here. What do we got? I'm Fox King. I'm skipping you, by the way. You're just asking ridiculous stuff. What happened to baby Gracie? We should see her around. Henry letting Lydia out was idiotic. Yes, it was. If Shane didn't go crazy over Lori and Carl in season 2, do you think you would have met? Oh, I'm not really good in, what is it called? Hypotheticals. Just flip a coin at this point in time. Just flip a coin. We could get him. We might not. If he survived. Do you think the guy that plays Logan Wolverine could pull acting? No, I'm not. I don't want Hugh Jackman as Joel. He doesn't fit. I know everyone goes nuts, but he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit at all. What were those poems everyone's referencing? I think honestly, if he had the job, I think he could work. I think he could do it. But it's not the right thing. I think an up and comer would be a better pick. All right, let's get it shut down. Because we're hitting that moment like I said, between an hour and a half and then 2 hours, we'll always slowly get that little insert of ridiculous comments, and it gets way out of hand and it becomes a shit show. So I think Fox King, you were determined to make it a shit show the whole time. So I'm gonna write down on my list to just ignore your ass. You're welcome. I think Daryl should be his father, since Henry's scenes with Norman was awesome. How old were you when you started writing Doomsday Kingdom? Oh my god, I don't know. 18, 19? No, that's not true. Here's where it gets tricky. One of the first things I wrote after Resident Evil, I was in junior high. So keep in mind, I'm in junior high. I'm in like 7th grade going into 8th grade, something like that. Whenever Resident Evil came out, and again, I was definitely in like 7th or 8th grade, and it was a little bit after that, I was just with the zombie bug. And then maybe like a year later, after Resident Evil, I started formulating a story with an underground lab, and it was just like my vent of what I would love to see with a Resident Evil, but it was my own type of it. About a year after that, even, so let's say 2 years after Resident Evil came out, I had this idea that had to do with a bank robbery. It was a zombie outbreak that started, and we followed bank robbers originally. And the thing is, you see an Easter egg of that in Doomsday Kingdom. That is a part of a story I wrote way back then, but it's only such a tiny part, but it's in Doomsday Kingdom. And when you ask, like, oh, what's, when did you start writing Doomsday Kingdom? It's so long ago, because I was always writing these different survivor stories, and essentially you'll see a lot of them that will cross over into Doomsday Kingdom, but only some in very tiny ways as Easter eggs, and then some are in there in full. So in a way, I've been working on Doomsday Kingdom. It's like a passion project from when I was a kid, a little kid in junior high all the way up until now. But it wasn't until I was about 19 or 20 when it clicked that it was this main thing. And one of the big story elements you're going to see coming up is the guy sitting on a hill and who goes to kill himself because he's surrounded by zombies. I talked about that story. You'll see that in Doomsday Kingdom coming up, but it wasn't until then when it clicked and I started figuring out the few main characters and how their stories went, and started really polishing it, because I didn't like following the bank robbers at first. Some of it was just clunky, some of it didn't work, so that got trimmed down drastically. But there's still some of that in Doomsday Kingdom, but again, a little bit. All right, let's shut this down. Give me 10 minutes, and then come back if you want to see the final episode of The Walking Dead by Telltale, Season 2, Episode 5, I believe it is. Hey, Ronnie, why is Comixology so far behind on Doomsday Kingdom? Dave Scarpa. This is a $2 dono. I didn't want to leave without getting the super chats in. Comixology isn't far behind. We waited to put it on Comixology. I forget what the reason was originally. I believe it was there was something like you couldn't put it on there if you had the comic for sale on your website, because they didn't want to compete in prices. So what I did was, and we knew we wanted to put Doomsday Kingdom issue 1 on sale on our website, so we did that first, and then we finally got to applying. And the only reason they don't have 2 and 3 yet is because now we're waiting for them to approve them. So, what's up, honey?
Does Chibi need her food? Or no?
Oh, she can get a little treat. I already fed her fully, though, so don't go crazy with it. Hey, there's a little tuna in there on the top shelf. You want to give her a little spoonful? Ronnie, your jokes, comebacks are on fire. Okay, so that covers all the super chats. I will see you guys in about 10 minutes right on this very same channel for the Walking Dead video game gameplay, whoever's interested.